You say your question so everyone can hear.
Efendi mentioned before the ayat that's saying when people pass from this life, there's going to be a barrier, and they're going to say that they want to go back and change. They're going to go back and do better. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, even if I send you back 1,000 times, you're still going to do the same thing over and over again. So how do you handle that? So my question is that like the fight against the ego? Is that what we're trying to do? Is to change that part of ourselves that is locked in that is
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That is mixed. You have regret. You have extreme regret. That you say, I want to change. And the chance is given for you to change. And you have that chance to change. But what happens? You don't change. Why you don't change? The rebellion, yes, the rebelliousness, the stubbornness, but a lot of it has to do with what? You forget. You forget. Zikr is the opposite of forgetting. And tafakkur, it is to make us to remember what are the things that we have done to want to become better. Tafakkur is not to sit down to think of the things that we have done good. That's not tafakkur. Tafakkur is to sit and to understand where we have gone wrong or things that we are doing which are lacking. Which even if we're doing good, we say it is lacking. Say he didn't really do anything wrong, and you wake up for tahajjud. But the believer is going to go into tafakkur and say that even with tahajjud, it wasn't that great, it wasn't that good. And the believer, the murid, does not really need tafakkur to think so deeply to say that it is all not that great. Because the murid, the believer, is never satisfied with the work, the good work that he did. If it's something good, he says, I can always do it better. I can always put more sincerity into it. I can always put more time into it. That forgetfulness. Forgetting what? Forgetting the rahmat of Allah. Forgetting the mercy of Allah. Forgetting the forgiveness of Allah. Where is that coming from? Obviously, it's coming from the ego. It's forgetting. But what is causing us to forget? Now we're entering into understanding what makes us to remember. What makes us to remember? When it makes us to remember. Is it in times of ease that mankind is disposed to remember their Lord? Or is it in times of trouble that mankind is disposed to remember Allah? We know the answer to that, correct? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Holy Prophet was saying, if Allah does not love that servant, he doesn't even give him a toothache. This world is paradise? No. If you have ease of this world, what usually happens? You forget Allah. You forget yourself. You forget the people around you. You start remembering only you. You forget yourself, meaning you forget how weak you are, that you are a creature. Because you have it good, you think nothing can touch you. It happened to other people, not to me. I'm untouchable, I'm special. It makes you think that you're an ilah. You forget. When everything is done, because this world, it has always been described as an enemy to us. It is not a friend. And the job of the enemy is to do what? To destroy you. This is not meaning also so much that if you get all the luxury, or then you're going to forget, or if you live just humbly, you're not going to forget. This concerns now where your heart is. Some people, with the luxury, they forget. Some people, they don't. Some people, when they have poverty, they remember. Some people, when they have that, they forget Allah. Because all they're running after is just to get that dunya. So this is more sophisticated now. It is where your intention is. Now, we're not looking at luxury or being poor. We're looking at whether you are poor or you are having luxury or anything in between. What is the reason now for that? If that reason is only for yourself to live in this world, then even if you're praying 5 times a day, it is not for the sake of Allah. You understand? If you are doing it for the sake of Allah, you're working and you're getting things, or you're trying to work but you don't get too many things, but you're doing it for the sake of Allah, both equally blessed now. Because you're remembering Allah. And in both situations, you are struggling. You're struggling because you're saying, this is making me to forget about Allah, more I have to fight. This is making me to forget about Allah, more I have to fight. You remember what causes you to forget. You know. You don't just live like a robot. Okay, I'm saying I'm working, say I'm working for my family. You're here in the Dergah, you're working for your family. Okay? You're working very hard, but it is still for your family. Now you're saying you're working hard, you're helping the Dergah too. Okay? You don't have too much time for your family, okay? But you don't have too much time for Allah to make zikr and to listen to sohbet. That's also not good. Because what causes you to remember now? What causes you to remember? That is a specialty in every tariqat. They have a certain way that they remember Allah. Correct? What is the way that we remember Allah in our tariqat? Sohbet. So if you are not in sohbet, you're not remembering Allah. You're not getting reminded. No one is there to remind you. Even if you're making tasbih, your heart may not be remembering, but your lips are. It becomes, because it is not hitting the heart. You're in sohbet. You think you're doing so good, but you notice, oh, whatever I'm doing, it's lacking this part. The sohbet is addressing that part. Then you're going to make progress. The sohbet is going to make the person to come out from ghaflat. It's going to remind you. Whatever that is needed at that time, you're running, you're working for the sake of the Dergah, say. But you're not there listening to sohbet. How are you going to wake yourself up? What kind of service are you going to make that time? Everything else that we're doing in reality is just to keep ourselves to be busy. Correct? Yes, you're running to serve. Service is good now. But it has to come from you And whatever that you have, it has to be fully charged. You cannot be running on empty. If you're running on empty now, what are you going to produce? Nothing. Wake up. Huh? You're just saying, sit, wait, I'm going to deal with you later. I'm going to open Shariat court. You're not trying at all. You're sitting there falling asleep. Let's see. Wait, no, don't. I'll fix you later. That's the whole problem, you see? Man doesn't want to get fixed. That is the whole problem. To first understand that you have a problem, majority are not thinking that they have a problem. It's so rare for a person to come up, Muslims, to say, I have a problem with my faith and I want to go to a doctor to get fixed. Then out of those who have problems, very few really, in reality, they want it fixed. So many, they're just saying, you know what, just pray for me, man, that's all. Just pray for me. Why you have to shout, scream, tell me that? Just pray for me, that's all. That's reality. They don't want to get fixed. They don't want to become better. They just want to continue their own way of life, but they just want to cover their bases, you know? That's all. No, you cannot. You come to the wrong tariqat to do that. If you think you're coming to a jamaat and you can continue with your wrong lifestyle, think again. There are other jamaats you can go. They can make you to continue with that wrong lifestyle. Say, don't worry, our Shaykh will pray for you. Did we ever hear Shaykh Efendi saying that? You can continue your wrong lifestyle, don't worry, your Shaykh. No, your Shaykh is going to take, he's going to be the first one to take this and to hit it over your head, for you to wake up. You see how quickly people forget. So now, remembering is one thing, to know not to forget is another. We listen to sohbat, this is what I mean. I don't want to use too many words like this. This is what I mean. You listen to sohbat, you know. Most of these things you know. In the beginning, I don't like to speak because I'm saying, what can I say that Shaykh Efendi didn't say? And if Shaykh Efendi had said before and people are still not changing, what can I say? And then I say, all these things people already know. Why I have to repeat it? Correct? But we need reminder. We need a reminder from a person who has that authority. Because even if it's truth, but the person does not have the authority, it's not going to hit you. Say you are eating Pakistani food, 24 hours, 365 days a year. This is so many of you. Okay? And say someone like me, okay, I'm saying, don't eat that every day. It's no good. Did I ever say that or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? I said, don't do that every day. It's no good for you. You're going to get sick from it. Yeah, you continue. Why? Because I don't have that authority as a doctor to say. But this is for everyone. If something were to happen to you, then the doctor says, you cannot continue like this. It's going to get worse next time, especially watch your diet now. You think that one is going to tell the doctor, you don't know anything? No, he's going to listen. Why? The doctor has authority. Saying the same things, but the doctor has authority. So now, how to use that remembrance, how not to forget. This is the point. We all know we're not supposed to be angry. We all know we're supposed to be more patient. We all know we cannot do this and we have to do that. We know this. Like Shaykh Efendi is saying, sohbat, it is giving you ammunition. Sohbat is not the time for you to shoot it, the ammunition, correct? When are you going to shoot? When the enemy is coming to attack you. Yet how many, in the moment when anger is overtaking you, men and women, that you're using the sohbet? Tell me. How many? Then you can answer by yourself, what is making you to forget? What is making you to forget? You don't want to remember. That's all. Because you're overtaken by this and it feels good. Because now to remember that, it's much harder. It's more bitter to do. But just to let go and just to do it, it's much easier. So ammunition is there, you don't use it. When you're supposed to use it, when your anger or your jealousy or your stubbornness or your arrogance that is coming, and we're always saying hundreds and thousands of ways that it is presenting it to you, suddenly you don't use. We say, what happened? We gave you the manual, we gave you the weapons, we gave you the ammunition. You know the enemy is coming. Why are you not using? I don't know. You don't know. You just have to suffer the consequence, that's all. You understand? So yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, even I give you 1,000 chances, you're just going to forget. You're going to go back to the same thing. One, because you don't remember, you don't try to remember that part, the wrong that you have done, and you don't remember when you're faced in the situation what kind of sohbet to use. A lot of the times, all we say is don't rush. Don't rush. Rushing is from shaitan. It's overtaking you. Don't rush. Anger or your stubbornness is overtaking you. It says don't rush. Relax. Relax for a while. Don't make any decision. And you know this, how many times when you just stop yourself from making a decision in that situation, you save yourself. Correct? You save yourself. Because once now, you just say, okay, wait, just hold on. You're already putting, first, a defense there against your ego and against your shaitan. Once you put that, then you're waiting for that support to come. Then you can make a decision properly. Yes. Until we break that, we're going to be in big trouble. If we don't break that forgetfulness, that ghaflat, that stubbornness, that rebelliousness, if we don't break that properly, the test that is going to come to us, forget about the test of the grave yet. The test that is going to come, the fitna of this world that is going to appear, the fitna of Dajjal that is going to appear, with the faith that we have, especially to our leader, is not going to carry us. It's not going to carry us. Haven't we seen so many murids come and go? During Shaykh Efendi's time, let's talk about our time. During Shaykh Efendi's time, he did so much for them. Yet they come and they go, as if nothing happened. We have to train ourselves to remember. The sohbat is supposed to make you to remember. Yes, the sohbat, it is higher than zikr. Because the sohbat is the zikr. When you're just saying Allah, Allah, Allah like that, your heart may be somewhere else. But in the sohbat, it is more difficult for your heart to be somewhere else. It is more difficult. Either you're going to fall, that's why people, that they're busy with their hearts with too many things, what do? What do? They fall asleep, that's all. Because you're not making the connection. If you're making the connection to the sohbat, you're going to become, I'm not talking about, okay, we open heavy sohbat and there's so much heaviness coming in, please. Okay? Leave that aside. But the sohbat, it is like you're giving me something and we're looking at this thing. And then we say, let's look at it like this. Let's look at it like this, correct? And then I open it a little bit. Let's look at it. Look what is coming out. Look what can happen. Oh, if you're interested, you're interested. Then you see, oh, subhanallah, it's like this. It's opening. Oh, I never see that part. You are interested. I'm like opening something. If you're interested. If you're not interested, that means your heart is not in that unraveling. It's in something else. Okay, I understand. People are working. Train yourself, bre. Because the bottom line is, if it is something that interests your ego, everyone will be awake. So we just have to try to make that change. It will come in time. I know some people, they are like that, but they are sincere, but it will come in time. You just cannot give in, that's all. Once you give in, after a while, it's going to cloud your heart. After a while, you say, why I have to listen? After a while, you're just going to say, there's nothing here for me. We're saying, Allah, there's nothing there? No. Okay, as you like. We're not forcing anyone. وَمِنَ اللَّهُ تَوْفِيقَ الْفَاتِحَةِ. Amin. Assalamu alaikum. This much is enough. I'll see you tomorrow.